right, greetings. Well, I guess YouTube's letting me record, stream for now. Been doing a lot of shadow banning recently. Good job, YouTube. Always have to battle. I guess they're destined to shadow ban my channel. Just want to give them props. 2 thumbs up. Jeez. Think they got to find something better to do with their time? I guess not. All right, greetings. So it's a Harvard of Worlds. Going to some more of that energy of what this world is about, and I don't know if it's going to be helpful or not, but I kind of figured the whole spirit guide thing. I was talking about the spirit world yesterday and how it's not exactly kosher. I imagine some would disagree with that, which is, that's up to you. I guess it depends on what level of reality you're on. But they have spirit world has light and dark connected to it, so you have a real positive spirit guide. But if you piss it off, even in spirit, a lot of darkness can come out of it. So it's not all positive. Somebody thinks that's but still you can still penetrate that. So nothing's ever too positive. You can find a way to get under their skin. So just put that out there. April 12th shift. I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not, but it's a possibility. That's on Tuesday. Feels like something's going on. It's not clear exactly what's in the air exactly. Guess we'll find out soon enough. Might not be Russia related. It's hard to say. But either way, the 12th is a portal day. 15th also. 13th doesn't seem to be a strong one. It might be. Okay. It all depends, but the 12th seems like a strong day for madness to occur. So we just have to wait and see. I mean, not all of it happened on the 12th, so you never know. Not that that'll happen, but it's not. Anyway, well, going into that. Galactic Federation of Light. Now, I don't normally connect to them. I'm not a huge fan or any of these galactic groups for that matter, but they say they're all positive and all. That's like, I'm sure you are. I'm sure they are. I know a lot of people that say they're positive and you find out something else is going on. Some people are actually evil. So there's darkness and light and everything. The Galactic Federation Light has that too. They also have cloning connected to them. And they're also infiltrated our government to a certain level. I mean, some of it's good, some of it's not so good. They're just not what they say they are. They got problems. Let's put it that way. Anyone says they're the Galactic Federation of Light, they're probably not sharing the whole story. But anyway, it sounds good. Yeah, I would say they're part of some of these major spiritual groups, especially those that connect to them or mention them a lot. They're definitely part of those. I mean, people here that have a large following, they talk about the Galactic Federation of Light, probably means that they're kind of like a poster boy or poster girl of it too. And some of them might be justified, but it's not all what they say it is. Nothing ever is. Well, it's not all positive, let's put it that way. I think they've been infiltrated many, many, many times. Well, they're flying around with a big target on their back, so so anyway. I mean, what fun is that anyway? You go to the Galactic Federation, right, and everyone's PG, or just, it's not exciting. There's no depth to it. It's just positive and no character or anything, just boring, basically. Yeah, it sounds real exciting. It's like the PBS. It's like the PBS, the channel. Playing it safe. So, I mean, this world obviously has got its. I don't know if this world's ever going to come out of this. Well, it looks like. can't worry about it though. All right, it's avatars.com. We have private sessions. We have schedule. We have the shop here. We have Fritzy here. Tearing up the chair, which is good. She's not tearing up the background. That's good. In March, somewhere in March 21st. Yeah, I'm still kind of behind, trying to catch up. Oh, later. Same situation here. Webinar, social network, and behind the scenes. And we have the conference coming up in a couple weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah. So also, if you want to schedule here, you can if you want. It's up to you. So just so all right. All right, the Harvard of worlds. We have more problems than we need. Of course, Harvard itself. Oh, that was short-lived. I wonder what she's. Yeah. Sorry, I was distracted. Yeah. Looking at the territory. Anyway. The Harvard of worlds, obviously we have more problems here that we probably need, or not. A lot of it's not necessary, but we go through it anyway. So obviously somebody needs to go through this. It's not all of us have to go through it. This is because we've been through a lot of this. Doesn't mean we learned our lessons, but either way, we've been through it. But other souls obviously need to go through this. So here we are. Yeah, it's like backpedal. It's like going backwards. It feels that way. So going to the Harvard energies of the Earth. Of course, Harvard itself, the real Harvard University, is basically CIA from shadow government. Everything, how to control us. They might send some of their people to the moon. I'm not sure if they do that physically, but you never know. They send them to the moon to control our reality. Not that they do it physically, but you never know. Indoctrinate them into the skull and bones. Of course, that's Yale. But yeah. Basically, the universities are basically secret societies. Basically. So, Ivy League schools that tell us what to do. But this world obviously has a lot of problems. It doesn't necessarily need to go through, but it goes through anyway for various different reasons. So, all right, am I connected to God consciousness? I think that went out pretty good. I'm not sure if whatever. You can't make everybody happy. It's just the way it goes. It used to be a different type of point of view I'm used to bringing in. Feels like it's the way to go. We'll see. So yeah, and to go to the 12th for April and see what energies come through there, and the Galactic Federation of Light, and give a different perspective of that. We'll see what they have to say. Who knows? I don't normally connect to them, so this is like super rare. I don't think I've connected to them in years, actually. So, all right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings. This is God consciousness. Many wonder of why God does not intervene, because it's not my challenge; it's yours. It would do you a disjustice. It would do you disjustice for too much interference, and that's what many of you are here to intervene through your journey. So God energy is working through you to assist humanity. Still a lot of self-love going on in this world that many are still trying to figure themselves out. Still a lot of souls have given up on themselves here. And that's kind of the point of the manipulations that's here. But some of you still continue with powerful vibration, but others are pulling in energies that are keep things simple for themselves. And so they don't have to try very hard. There's a lot of that going on. But some of you that are going deep into your consciousness of your spiritual growth, basically, not necessarily for manifestation, but basically for connecting to the spirit realms. A lot of souls here are not quite understanding how this world works. Of course, you're not always supposed to understand all of its aspects of it. Some are afraid of how it works here. But this world was designed to go through hell, basically. It was designed to handle everything that's happening here. A lot of Saturn's energies are here because Saturn can handle it to a certain degree, but not on the physical level. So it's bringing a lot of its knowledge here to experience it. And it's keeping this Earth going, actually, much of Saturn's frequency. And some of you are Saturn beings, and some Saturn beings are very difficult to be around. They're very difficult to many of you have parents that are Saturn beings where they can't see they have a problem. They cause you difficult. It's like having an army sergeant in a family. There's different aspects of Saturn, but Saturn beings are usually feel like they didn't do anything wrong. But they did all kinds of things wrong. Such as parenting, which can go wrong completely, and they're not ready to live up to it. This world is a fragment of other planets that have been very difficult. So it brought all those difficult worlds together. Different aspects of it, not the full depth of it, but enough where souls come from other worlds that are difficult. They come here to heal, to finally let that go, because they can't heal. To heal is not to heal quickly. So say if you come from a world that's very stressful, you come here, stress is here. But because if you go from a stressful world to a positive world, it's going to be very difficult. You're like a walking bomb. You just got to get triggered once and you're just gone. But if you come to a world like this, it's used to first off being triggered. It's just used to that frequency altogether. It just basically, it can harness it better. It can blow out darkness. Well, if you need to be dark to others, eventually dark will find you. And it's like, well, maybe I should be a nice guy now. It all depends on the situation. So it's the prisons that are here on the planet are prisons from other worlds. Basically, those criminals from other planets got away with a lot of their criminality. They came here and then they got instantly jailed. They thought they can get away with it, but they can't always get away with everything. Obviously, you have politicians get away with everything, but not everyone can get away with it. Even some of the politicians it comes back to. And it comes back through health, through karma. It finds ways back to them in some form or another. But you find out that this world was necessary and still is. Now, is the human race going to evolve the way you think it should? But that's up to the human race, of course. But did you also understand many souls have kind of tired of their incarnation here? They feel like they can't fit in, and what's the point of it all? But you are still bringing your vibration here to heal this earth. So yeah, you might not be able to connect to the human, but you connect to Earth's frequency and assist its energy field. So yes, you might get a roadblock with the human mind, because many, even those that are spiritually open, aren't open to everything. So it does feel very isolating. But you still can connect to the earth. And that's why you're here. So your knowledge of peacefulness, well, good to men and all that comes from your astral to you, to the earth. And it puts that vibration out here of even how to solve the world's problems. Maybe not everything. But obviously many are holding back. Of course, there's trickster beings that keep souls from evolving too. I mean, many of you came here just to heal the trickster. And yes, you're battling different beings. You're not seeing them, but you're battling, especially those that are stressed out. You had enough of this world. Most likely you're doing several battles at this time. So it's overwhelming, as you can see. And some are not at that level to notice that yet. Yeah, they're dealing with the physical realm, the physical problems, the physical who's going to be president, who's going to be this and that. But many of you have moved past that. You're seeing actually the puppet masters. You might not be seeing it clearly, but you know if somebody is there and you're actually interacting with it. You might, for many of you are interacting with it more than you might realize. And some of you might be able to tap into that. Might say, wait a minute, am I really? It's like if you don't care what happens to this reality, but you know something else is going on, most likely you're connected to a different realm altogether. The realm that's here controlling this reality. It doesn't mean you're part of it, but you are aware of it to some level. I mean, you're not afraid of what happens to this reality. But you do interact with the beings that are causing difficulties here, which can cause you a lot of stress. Obviously, because you can't see them, but you interact with them quite a bit. Not, like I say, not everybody does that. You might have some interaction to a certain level. Some people are unaware. But usually those of you that are spiritually evolving. See, many don't feel like they don't understand the whole how this all works. Yeah, they look at it on a physical level. But there are those of you out there that have I'm repeating it because it needs to be repeated because you're evolved to more of the astral plane, how it's working. You might not be aware of everything there, but maybe you do interact with it more than here in the physical realm. And that's where a lot of your stress comes from. Hope that makes sense. Blessings. Greetings. With our trans blessings, we're also very connected to the Arabic world, but also the Asian realities. Many of the Zetas are involved with the Asian world. Yes, the Arcturian is there to connect with nature and living, higher dimensional living to a certain level, connected to fruits and healthy manners. But the Zeta is not known to be healthy, but they are known to advance technologies greatly. And much of that is there. Even if they have to steal it from others, there's still a lot of Zeta frequency that's going on there in China. So your April 12th frequency is a portal, yes, will bring in new things. Let's put it that way. And that might not happen in your physical just yet, but it is actually April 1st was the beginning of the next phase of this month. It's just not showing itself completely because it's not intended to. Much of it is cloaked. So there's also a major marriage that was in your collective, those of you that are connected to celebrities. That is, yes, an elite family line with the Beckhams and the other family. We don't have the name for them, but the Beckham family is kind of an elitist family. David Beckham is basically a model of, he's connected to the Galactic Federation to a certain level, but he is definitely elitist, as you can tell. You can just tell by the whole setup there. So you are seeing an Illuminati exchange of vows. So that is one thing that's happening. Maybe not to what you're looking for. Some are looking for a transformation of wealth and all that, not happening now. But the timeline, yes, the astral realms, let's put it this way, will deliver as promised. But they're not going to say what they're going to deliver as of yet. Yes, we have to be vague about all. We don't even have the full information of it. For some of you who are connected to the April 12th vibrations, yes, feel free to use your cognitive energies, your precog energies, and see the future as necessary. But clear out the fear. There's nothing to fear. Help you see the future more clearly. But there is a transition going on for sure. You could say a transition to power without going into details on that. That's a little bit cryptic. Blessings. Greetings. I am Jupiter from the Galactic Federation of Light. I'm a humanoid Palladian being. It is up to you to how you feel the Galactic Federation of Light. Not all members of the Galactic Federation of Light see what's happening with the Galactic Federation of Light. When it comes to your planet, we are still learning. We do protect our energies, but there are some that still need to learn from the lower frequencies. We do play a role in your world's health, because if your world dies, a lot of us will die with you. So it's keeping us going. Even some of our worlds won't be able to function the same, because a lot of the troubles of your planet, other worlds can't handle those troubles, so they come to your world and you deal with it here. Not to attack your planet, but it's just that your world knows how to deal with it better than other planets, at least on a lower frequency level. So to keep a world at a higher dimension, yeah, they take their trouble somewhere else, like your world, and you sort it out. But also realize the positive karma you receive from that is tremendous. Obviously, in this lifetime, it's not always showing it because it's not supposed to. The idea is to do good among others, among your fellow man, your people, and not really worry about a return. And that's the difficult part. Many of you, most of you, are doing excellent. Yes, it might not be easy, but you haven't really got a return on your investment. And yes, it can be difficult. Many do look for a return investment because it's like, how much more stress do I need to go through? What did I sign up for again? And you actually saw your whole life played out. Obviously, probably disagreed with it, meaning your timeline before you incarnated. It's like, what was I thinking? I'm going to really hate that part of my timeline. What was I thinking? But the end result really does make sense in the long run. Meaning, many of you, if your nothing's making any sense now, later in life it will, but later might be later, like a couple of days before you leave the world for some, not everybody, but some of you have a more instinct of, especially you're connecting more to your abilities, your spiritual beliefs, vibrations, you'll get more of an idea. Because realize the reason why you're here isn't always going to show itself just yet, because it's part of your timeline. You're not always supposed to see all those things, but just to do things, fail at things, accomplish things, win, lose, whatever it might be. The more that you're bringing something to this reality, the more we can work. If you're just waiting for something to happen now, sometimes there are timelines where that's happened because not everything's set up. But when things are ready to go, it's time for you to get up and go. But there is a lot of waiting going on. Well, because you have to be at a certain age and maturity to handle certain situations. And the other thing is everybody else ready for you to be ready. Because not everybody else is ready. Those of you that are here to assist. So it all aligns together. And realize you're all representatives of the planet you came from. Many of you had many incarnations here as human, but still you have some kind of connection to another planet. You might not have been that planet in years, thousands of years. It doesn't really matter. You still have a connection there. And some worlds that you might not incarnate with anymore, but you still have a connection. And you know if something happens to you, it can cause difficulties for that or other planet. Not that that's going to affect you much in your incarnation here. Many are, working on manifestation, which is working decently. It might not be giving you the riches and wealth that you're looking for, so you have less stress, but also wealth can bring in a lot more stress too. Because you usually have to work for what you get. So sometimes it's not always worth working all the time. Some of you don't want to work all the time. I just want to fish. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Especially when you have less stress and less responsibility, it does help you heighten your frequency. It doesn't mean everybody's going to be doing that, but quite a few of them do. Now, some of that are weighed back and want to enjoy their life, then please do so. Because that also most likely means if you're young, you're bringing a family into this environment. So the idea is the more you're comfortable here in this environment, the better. Those of you who have just had enough of this world, obviously having a child here is not likely. Because the kid doesn't really want to incarnate with a parent who don't care about this reality. It makes things difficult growing up. Now, obviously that does happen. But there's certain levels of it. Then again, some of you can be very loving, of course, too, but not everybody's going to have a child either. because you're here to focus on other things on this planet, such as healing the child planet itself. Some of you, this year's your baby. Yes, a baby planet that I'd rather just give away. For obvious, yes, because it's people, yes, turn against you all the time. It does get old after a while. Well, that's why you came here, for stubbornness. Most likely you've had stubbornness yourself also, and having it come back to you is not the easiest, but could you, it's part of your own inner healing too. It's not always a negative reason why you come here either. Yes, when I come here to, in some ways, save the earth, but it's also just to bring a new vibration here, basically for you to change for the better, to do, yes, inner releasing of different traumas and leave this world better than you came. Meaning that your energy field might have been difficult in the beginning, but it came better over time. And some of you are here to, within partnerships, is to release a demonic possession. Now, that's not for everybody, but some of you might have an idea of that. That is actually very common within partnerships and romantic relationships, but also with family members. Healing the demonic energies within the family members is nothing easy because they have that demonic energy helped them become physical here. It helped them connect to a paranoia energy, but it also balanced them to understand the physical, maybe not the non-physical, but the physical. It harnessed them. So they feel sometimes a human here can feel obligated to have that demonic being connected to them. They're not, because it's like part of their family. Because it helped them through a lot of traumas, heal a lot. There's relationships that might not make any sense to you, but for them, it makes perfect sense. And some are just not ready to release their darkness. It goes on and on. So, yes, you're going to get more into the core of how your reality works. Heal the demonic realms. Not going to be an easy fight. It is technically a fight, a realization, a healing, a welcoming, many different things on a global scale. Eventually, your world will know about the lower realms. It has some idea, but it kind of puts a lot of it under the rug because humanity is not quite ready. But eventually, become more understanding of it in healing the family members so they're no longer possessed by these beings. And that's a big deal because it does affect future generations. Because you're here to make a lighter, you wonder what your purpose here is. The idea for the earth to be a lighter frequency, so lighter dimensional beings can come incarnate here and make this world a lot easier to experience. So some of you are healing a lot of, even as we're going into that, yes, past trauma. So just leave it at that. Even as we're going into that, we have to change our subject. But that's the Galactic Federation of Lights. Yes, we don't see everything, but we see what's happening on your world for the most part. Not exactly you individually, but some of you incarnate through the Galactic Federation of Light to assist on many levels. That's why you might think about the Galactic Federation of Light, because you have some kind of connection. You might agree with it, disagree with it, whatever it might be, you still have connection to a certain level. A lot of police chiefs, those are in charge here through the law, are connected to the Galactic Federation of Light. So you look at your police a little bit later, you might want to look at the police chiefs all around your world. It's like, that feels like a Palladian being. It feels like a Syrian being. It feels like a being that's trying to help humanity to the best of their ability. It might have brute force at times, but overall, they have usually a positive energy. Normally, yes, there are some dirty cops out there, of course. It's always going to happen. But for the most part, we believe most police are decent, but not all, of course. Well, there's always going to be bad seasons of the police. It's always a negative C. It's always going to be a part of it. But that's one of the reasons you're incarnate here. Yes, for truths to come out. We don't need the police anymore. Your world's not quite ready for that. But eventually, well, basically, humanity has to not want to cause crime against itself. Obviously, it's obsessed with crime. Not everybody. Well, why is it obsessed with crime? It's action. It's the thrill of the situation. Unfortunately, yes, murdering somebody is some have a thrill with that. And you wonder why you're here to? You're here to heal that frequency. No more of that energy. We don't need that anymore. And yeah, it's a tough subject. So basically, eventually you'll go back to dictators worldwide and heal those energies. It's being healed to a certain level, not exactly as it could be. The Druids healing those energies, the Atlanteans, not the easiest energy to heal, but eventually heal that. Where you can basically, like, if you lay in your bed going to sleep and you teleport to the ocean. And you're not swimming around, you don't need to swim. You'd be teleporting throughout. Seeing your Atlantean beings and things of that kind. So that's what you're heading towards. Yes, your future generations. This generation is very crucial. Every generation is crucial. Your future generations, you're teaching your future generations. You're making it easier for them. So maybe you're going through difficulties, but you're actually here to make it easier for the future generations to, connect to spirit guides, alien beings, whatever it might be, and feel okay with it and be part of society. Meaning, since they can say this stuff publicly, they might be laughed at, but it's accepted more instead of just laughed at and forgotten. So that's why you are here. You wonder what your purpose here? You're here to let this information that the earth feels your struggles, that you can't talk to anybody, and the idea is to leave the energy here for future generations to have it easier. You don't have to go around saving the world or anything like that. It's all in your mind, what you want, your intentions. It's all working with the earth. So it's difficult, obvious. Well, you're doing things that others, not every alien being has to go through a war like this, but that's why you're here, because you can handle it. It doesn't make you lower or anything like that. You can go in the lower dimensions and battle a world like this and survive. Put up with it. Have your faults. Have health problems and still survive it. While there's spiritual beings out there that are powerful but cannot handle the low vibrations of this earth. So you're coming here, as a ground crew, but you still have a very powerful significance. Some of you are headstrong because you have to be. You have to be headstrong to be a world like this. You got to be stubborn to be a part of a world like this. Not to talk down to anybody, but sometimes you have to be like that to handle a planet like this, especially if you're going deep within your spiritual consciousness. You're going against the narrative of the mainstream thinking. Whatever it might be connecting more to astral and then alien. I mean, you might be talking to aliens all the time, and you are, most likely. And of course, the human collective doesn't quite understand that just yet, but you're just building the groundwork so they can. For future generations, of course. There's generations to a certain level, but so set in his ways. But everything matters. Now matters. The future matters, but right now matters. It's very crucial right now. As it always is. Because you're setting the groundwork for the future. But they have to have a ground to walk on first. And that's what you're being guided to do at this time.